far as your UFC 243 fight against Tank Abbott, any memories of that? I know Rick Bassman told me that you guys had some legitimate heat.
Tank is a HB bad boy. That's where that nickname came from. Came from Tito. Tito's a good guy. Plays a bad guy role. So walking around Huntington Beach, it's Tankstown. I'm from Hawaii, you know, and I'm cool with whatever. As long as nobody gets in my face trying to get disrespectful. Hey, whatever their trip is, their trip. But this one was special because we're gonna fight. We're gonna see each other. We're both in HB. Even though I'm not, you know, I'm from Hawaii, I'm living in HB. I'm an HB person now. You know, at that point in my life, where I live is where I rest my head. So to walk around with my head up high, that fight was gonna have to be a victory. And you know, Tank had that. He owned that reputation of Huntington Beach. So it was a lot more than just, you know, just a fight. People might have just saw it and thought, oh, okay, Huntington guys. But when you're actually in it and it's your mind and your heart and everything that motivates you behind it, it's a whole different experience than somebody just watching it for sidelines. So it was a really, it was a lot of pressure on that fight.
And you ended up beating him. Any memories of that? Obviously, you were happy about it.
Yeah, when I trained for Tank, it was like, okay, let's see. There were certain things we're trying to come up with. And it usually is, my plan is that what I come out with. How do I first approach my opponent? And from there, it's all improv and off your training and certain tendencies and stuff. So against Tank, we're thinking, okay, he comes out throwing a punch. It's not as exactly, that's kind of his game. Shooting in, he's going to probably think I'm going to shoot in. And then Joe goes, look at this. And he stretches his leg. And his leg, you know, I'm like, yeah, okay, touch me. Of course, I can't hit him because his foot's longer than my hand. So that's how Joe teaches. He shows me like that. So right off the bat, we're okay. We're going to come out with a kick, a straight kick to his right here in his bread basket. How he reacts is going to be the fight from there. So there's ways people can react off the things. He could have folded. He could have blocked it. He could have went by it. He could have ate it and came through it. So that's where your training comes in, is off of those 3-4 different things that he can do off of that initial. And he if you watch the fight, I grab him, and after I kick him, he folded a little bit, just enough to where I can get my arms around him. And when I got my arms around his upper body, I jumped up to pull him down, to pull him to the ground. But Tank's strong as heck. So when I tried to pull him down, he resisted. But the moment he resisted means he had his feet planted solid to pull back to have that. So once I felt that pulling back, I let go and took an ankle pick. And he went right down because all of his weight was basically on his feet, you know. And when he went down, I was jiu-jitsu all the way. I just climbed up him, no space, and mounted him. And then I was for a second, you know, just letting my muscles, everything relax, just to catch a quick breath, and just not to blow it up. And just as I went to hit him, I hear some people booing, and I'm just like, these guys, the audience didn't really have a education as to how ground fighting exactly went. They didn't really see the little movements and how important they were. So, but yeah, so anyway, I climbed him, I go up to throw a punch, and he throws a punch at me, and I slip it, and I got my other arm around his head, and I got him now. I'm going to choke him with his own arm. And usually for that move, it's a wrestling move. You usually got to jump over to the side. You got the arm and walk towards the head, which gets the angle of the choke to where it's really tight. But because his arms are so big and my shoulders were big, I was able to cut off. I could hear the air going out. I couldn't hear the air going. I just heard. So I knew he was having a hard time breathing, and I just held it. I knew that if I jumped over to the head, Tank would have rolled me. He was probably waiting for that move because that's a wrestling counter, and I would have no hand to post to stop the roll. I don't want to be on my back against him. As far as charity fights, I fought Tank Abbott, celebrity kickboxing or celebrity boxing. Oh, terrible. We got booed because we look terrible. You know, so I never really fighting now to me would only be in a situation where somebody I love or protecting myself. I don't see myself as going focused because of my injuries to go out there and fight just for, you know, the charity's awesome. What charity would I pick? Man, I would have to look into it because I wouldn't just top of my head a charity. I'd make sure that the money is going to where they say their money is going to, and I'll do a lot more research on exactly how that, you know, how their business is running as far as if they're legit and doing the right things with the money before I represent any cause.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.